let's talk for a moment about the power of why content. Content about your purpose, content about what drives you to run the practice that you run. And you'd be surprised how powerful this type of content is when we talk about conversions. So for once, we're not talking about optimizing your content for Google. We are discussing this very important power that your online presence can have, which is your conversion power. Is your online presence powerful so it doesn't just attract the patient, but it also convinces them to take the next step, which could be changing or asking for a referral or just booking an appointment? And what we can see is as we measure traffic, we also measure patient behavior on the medical websites that we run for our customers. And what we learn from that is quite spectacular. I call it the why content really works. Patients want to learn about the human side of the practice they're about to choose, and it does make a big difference to have that content on your website or not. Now, you might think, this is all fluffy. This is not scientific. It's not analytical. Yet it does show up in the data that we extract from our live strategies. So what are we talking about? What is the why content? What is content that talks about your purpose? Let's just unpack it a little bit more and see what that means. I'll share with you what it actually means. This why content, and look, we even have the word why in there. It's quite often linked to your about page or your profile to allow the patient to get to know you. Now, as a scientist, as a doctor, as a specialist, you might think that a phrase that starts with "when I was a boy" is not a good idea for a medical website. Yet, what we see time and time again is that this approach really works. The About page is the second most used page on a medical website. Just the homepage is obviously the most popular one. But the next page most patients will visit would be the About page. It's also the page where patients will spend more time. They want to know about your qualifications, about your research, but it's also great for them to find out where you grew up and what inspired you to become the doctor that you are. So why content is about your purpose, it's about what drives you to do what you're doing, and it really works. It really keeps patients on your profile for longer. It can be very simple. It can be just the images that you choose. It can be that tagline or the header or the title. The way you inspire trust and confidence. It's not just about your qualifications. It's that human component. It's really showing who you are and giving the patient reasons to choose you over any other specialty clinic. So why content really works. It's backed by data. It's not just fluffy stuff. So where do you start? Well, it makes sense that to implement this type of content, you wouldn't just work with a web designer who then asks you, well, what do you want on your website? This is why here at Digital Practice, we are able to really serve our customers in an excellent way by teasing out this why content, this content about your purpose, and organizing it in a way that the patient picks up on that vibe as they go through your information. So to apply this to your specific practice, the next step and the best way forward is to book a free one-on-one consultation. We'll talk about the power of why content applied to your specialty clinic, and then we'll talk about how we can use that type of content to help you grow the practice that you have in mind.